You are going to need to know this because it's the definition of what a computer is. If you broke it down to the bare essentials, figure out what it actually is kind of interesting. But it's just anything that has an input. Okay, so we have an input, and then this input goes into either storage, like it gets stored on something like stored on the hard drive of your computer, or like stored in the cloud, that sort of thing. And it also gets processed. So there's storage piece of it, and there's a processing piece for it. Okay, so you click something with a mouse, that is technically an input, and that gets processed by the computer, by the processor of the computer, I should say. And then there's a particular output that occurs from this. Okay, so anything that follows these steps is technically considered a computer. So if you want, you can almost think of like a human as a computer. Like we take inputs, we store information in our memory, just like a computer stores information in its memory. We process it, through our brain. We process the information, or sometimes we don't process it if it's too complicated or confusing. The information might not be processed. But either way, there's an input or an output. I'm sorry, after that. Okay, so these are everything that you need that makes a computer a computer. If you go to my website, there's a video that I attached on there for Unit 1. And it's kind of a nice little series of just basically like how computers work. So if you click 1.3 and you scroll down here, it says introducing how computers work. That's Bill Gates, obviously, but they have a bunch of other like computer scientists on this thing. And if you watch what makes a computer, it kind of talks about there's that input, there's that storage and processing, and then there's an output. That's what makes a computer a computer. A personal computer is not the only computer that you will see in your life. There are like a good example is like a garage door opener. Like that's still technically a computer because it takes the input of you pressing the button, it processes the code that opens up your garage, so it doesn't work with other garages, and then it outputs whatever the response is, which usually makes it, open the garage. But like people don't think of a garage door opener as a computer. Some microwaves use computing in them. Some other, you can think of a million different examples of what makes a computer, but that's essentially what it does. Anything that does these things right here is technically a computer. A personal computer is what you're looking off of right now because that's like for you. Technically speaking, a mobile device is still a personal computer. A tablet is still a personal computer as well. A Mac is still also a personal computer. A lot of people think, oh, are you using a PC or are you using a Mac? A Mac is an example of a PC. In fact, it was the first popular PC that there was back in the day. This was before I was even born. But a little history lesson, like people didn't think back in the day that people would even want a computer. So the fact that Apple made that Mac was a big deal because it was like, whoa, like first of all, how do you know people are going to buy this? How do you know people are going to be interested in it? Especially like Gen Pop, like general population might not be interested in it, but like hobbyists might be, like people that are just into computers, they might have a computer. But the fact that pretty much, I feel like at this point, more people have computers that don't, at least in this country, that deals with socioeconomic status. Some people are, can't afford one, or they're in like third world countries or something like that. Kind of expand your thinking about what a computer is and what makes a computer based on this right here. So input, storage, and processing, and then there's an output.